We live in Brooklyn, baby. We live in Brooklyn, baby.
Welcome back, everybody. You wanted to say something about the jail porn or something like that?
I got no words, man.
It was like really just poor. It was just poorly produced porn magazine. So that's it. That's it.
Yeah, this is a little extra from last segment where we're discussing the effects of.
Yeah, I came out okay.
And but that's that's my point. Again,
but then I only had those magazines, and like you said, after you look at the same thing over and over again with the internet, you can continue to find new things each and every day. Like I saw something on the internet recently that scarred me for life. Fucking Junior comes over and shows me somebody getting their head chopped off with a chainsaw.
Okay,
I don't want to see no shit like that.
But again, this wasn't generated by,
I know. I mean, the internet didn't create the image. It wasn't computer generated.
People are fucking mad
and posted it up there. And the fact that I had access to it, or this dickhead had access to it, and he just queued it up. It was just horrible. But in any case,
if you want to know what the hell we're talking about, just go to the segment prior.
Do you still tape phone books to your chick's stomach?
Nah, man. I beat him with oranges. I wrapped him, take about 50 oranges and put it in a pillowcase and beat him on their back and shoulders. Nah, I don't do nothing like that, man. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
This coming from the only parent in the room. Yeah. All right, so so this was okay. Dick it. You
this speaking of fucked up America.
Yeah.
So interestingly enough, this next story, it deals with the decline of America, but from a less technological standpoint. Although you could attach technology to this, whereas this is about sport. This is about the emphasis that we place on certain different things in this country. So basically, this is everything wrong with America in one simple image. And you see you
can see the image there.
The image here. When a country places more importance on sports than an economic achievement, its decline is inevitable. The American decline is real, and this is where it comes from. So these cats claim that sports, which we do worship here in America, with no doubt about that. Once again, and I'll wave my hand, I contribute my few $100s every year to the NFL, and
what the fuck is going on with this dude over there, man? You got emphysema or something? What's wrong with you, man?
First off, I'm not on mic, number one. Second of all, I don't want to talk about you coming in here sneezing up a storm. You probably got me sick within the first 5 minutes of the goddamn show.
Yo,
but no one mentions that, though.
Well,
no one mentions you coming over here sneezing the hell.
Yo, it was dusty in this joint when I first came in here.
Nigga, you dusty, nigga.
You were the only one.
You sat down and a cloud of dust came up and you're sneezing off your own goddamn dust.
Yeah, I'm Pigpen, right? Yeah, whatever, man.
So what has two thumbs and is the only professional person in this room? This guy.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyway, as I was trying to say, the NFL makes roughly $8 to $10 billion a year. And again, they're not getting this money out of thin air. They're getting it from your pockets and, yes, my pocket. Yeah. Then you have behind them is the NBA.
NBA. At
least in terms of popularity, not sure about money. Then baseball is still creeping along. They're number 3, and then finally we have hockey. According to the article, this is why intelligence and knowledge is disparaged in this country that reached the moon. These days, intellectuals are mocked as faggy and unmanly, as if brute strength somehow contributed to technological prowess, economic agility, and innovations that made America a superpower. You can go to Chris Rock's Bigger and Blacker. He says the exact same thing. And at least, again, we know in the black community,
if you
being
educated
that's not a plus. That's not a plus.
That's not a plus. You're seen as, like you said, a nerd, a sucker. You're trying to be white. As if white people monopolize the English language. Whatever. It's just
one of our friends from the old days used to constantly get on Skillet Sauce because he's a nerdy bitch. Yes, this is true. But I mean, like one of my favorite terms. He used to call him Fauntleroy because
Oh, that's right. He used to call me.
like, yeah, he's a little Fauntleroy type motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Hysterical to me. and to 8 apparently. He
But
enjoyed that as
you
well.
find that funny, huh?
I'm finding out more and more about this guy, man. What was the name your family used to call you? Didn't you have another name that people used to call you that was kind of weird?
The Gimp?
You mean no?
No.
In handball, I was called Banana.
You're right.
I'm
right.
called Arnie.
And you currently fight your chick over a cornbread at dinner. Come up off that commissary.
Yeah, that's exactly it, right? My prison
For
roots.
our Caucasian viewers, these are jailhouse terms that are being thrown around
my
here.
prison roots. You know, that's right. Come off that slot time, right? Yeah.
Wait till I catch you in the yard, bitch.
Catch you in the yard, right? Yeah. Exactly.
I, of course, have no idea what these motherfuckers are talking about. Back to the article. This is why our politics are a disaster. When you raise a generation to believe that throwing a ball is more important than fulfilling their civic duty to make informed decisions, you allow charlatans to sell their lies to the public unchallenged. Now, that's an interesting statement, and I'll tell you why, at least from my point of view. From a minority perspective, dealing with the fucked up school system, racism, and inequality.
Classism. Classism, everything.
Right, classism. Sadly enough, throwing a football might be your best chance to escape whatever roots you come from.
Yeah, throwing football, getting a good crossover.
Right.
You know.
These are just the facts of the matter.
Yeah,
It's sad,
yeah, it is.
but it's true.
It is.
The second part, your civic duty to make informed decisions to allow charlatans to sell their lives to the public unchallenged. In this day and age, when you challenge, you might go to jail.
Or they'll slander you.
Or they'll slander you.
Slander you. They'll censor you in such a way to
right.
where you're taken completely out of context, thus destroying any argument you might have.
Whatever good points you might be rallying for, whatever cool chants you might come up with, if they're too good and too cool, they'll never be seen by anybody except the people around you, because the people who own the media won't allow them to be shown. And they'll be buried, because the media, along with the other corporations, are the ones that actually run the country. So they're not going to let little old us fuck with them on that shit. So while
It's like that Cornell West piece,
Right, exactly.
Why did it have to be from some blogger's camera?
Right.
And not
where Cornell West is basically ripping into Soul Brother #1 and one of his #1 lackeys, Al Sharpton, again making excellent points as Cornell West normally does, but he can't come up on CNN and say shit like that or anything like that, because
the best he'll get is like Bill Maher.
right. And Bill Maher's on the fence. He's probably just minutes away from being fucking arrested himself. So again, while the idea of that statement is good and true, the reality not so much. Anyway, continuing on. This is where Steubenville and countless other sports town rapes come from, the vast majority of which are covered up and ignored. We literally worship at the altar of sports. The rape of a young woman is small price to pay for glory immortal. I happen to agree with that. We've seen it numerous times where, again, these, which is, living in a big city, you kind of had these attitudes towards these small towns. These people live for high school football.
High school football, the whole thing about Friday
basketball.
night nights.
Yeah.
Friday night lights, or whatever the hell that shit is called.
That's what it was called.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. My little cousin is going to. I believe she's with Crimson Tide. I think it's Alabama. The Crimson Tide. Whole Roll Tide and stuff like that. And she said that whole place, is literally wrapped around that football. Football team.
Football team, yeah.
Yeah, completely.
These kids are heroes. God forbid you're good. I mean,
that program completely permeates everything.
I mean, that whole Steubenville thing, they said, the cops kind of knew about it, but they did what they could to protect these kids because that is their life. That's their existence.
Well, just think about how they skirt, let these kids get by, with shoddy academics.
Oh, sure.
If you're
of
a
course.
super Johnny football kind of guy, not, and super duper running back or whatever it is, because there was stories of people taking tests for them, the teachers passing them when the people couldn't read.
Again, if you're old enough to watch football in the 80s, Dexter Manley, who was one of the most successful defensive linemen, this motherfucker couldn't read.
No.
He couldn't write his own fucking name, and yet he was a professional football player.
There was a guy on the Nets, a big, tall dude on the Nets, a basketball guy back in the 80s. I forget his name. And that dude was the same thing. He could not read or write.
Yeah. And I'll preface this to say that it's not equal, or at least it shouldn't be equal, and it is horrible. But, if you want to play both sides, or at least look at the other side, these people in these towns are having to weigh the rape of a young girl against the fucking town economy, perhaps.
Town economy, life's blood.
If this team goes down, goes into flames, if they do a whatchamacallit, what they call in sports radio, the death penalty for sports, where they
cancel your program.
They cancel the program for 3 or 4 years or whatever. You slashed your town's economy in half.
Yeah, the revenue goes down because a lot of times it's the memorabilia, the T-shirts, the vendors during the games.
Right.
These games pack 100,000 people in.
It's like crops. When your crops come in, you have to live off of that shit for the whole fucking year until they come in again the next year. That's kind of like what this is. So, and again, is it morally right? Fuck no. But I'm just saying it's a reality that these people have to face and weigh when shit like this goes on.
There's a certain amount of idolatry connected to.
Well, no doubt.
This kind of stuff also.
So just to finish this article up, until we get our collective heads out of our asses and treat teachers and cops and sanitation workers and firefighters and the men and women we send to combat as the priceless resources that protect our lives, care for our children, and make our country worth living in, we're doomed to future of self-centered stupidity and civic ignorance. Again, I in totality agree with that statement. At the bottom of this article is a fantastic, in my opinion, I believe Skillets as well, video clip of the show Newsroom. I heard of it, never watched it, but I may have to start watching it. I was told, I'm not exactly sure, that this is a clip from the
season opener.
The season and or series opener of this show. And this is what the hell? I always get
what's his name? Jeff Daniels.
Jeff Daniels.
Yeah.
I always get him confused with the president from Independence Day for some reason. Don't know why.
I know what you're talking about. What is that guy's name? Bill Pullman.
Bill Pullman, right?
Bill Pullman, yeah.
Anyway, Jeff Daniels is the star of the show, and
someone asked him a question about
what makes America the best country in the world,
and they said to summarize it in like 1 or 2 words or something like that.
Right, basically like one sentence, 1 or 2 sentences,
or whatever.
And he's on a panel, and this is his fantastic answer.
And before you watch it, note when he hits you with certain statistics, we ran those statistics down on this very show. Twice. Fucking Dave.
8, if you will.
Go ahead. Hi, my name is Jenny. I'm a sophomore, and this is for all 3 of you. Can you say in 1 sentence or less what? You know what I mean. Can you say why America is the greatest country in the world?
Diversity and opportunity.
Lewis?
Freedom and freedom. So let's keep it that way.
Will?
The New York Jets.
No, I'm going to hold you to an answer on that. What makes America the greatest country in the world?
Well, Lewis and Sharon said it. Diversity and opportunity and freedom and freedom.
I'm not letting you go back to the airport without answering the question.
Well, our Constitution is a masterpiece. James Madison was a genius. The Declaration of Independence is, for me, the single greatest piece of American writing. You don't look satisfied.
One's a set of laws and the other's a declaration of war. I want a human moment from you. What about the people? Why is America
Not the greatest country in the world, Professor. That's my answer.
You're saying...
Yes.
Let's talk about...
Fine. Sharon, the NEA is a loser. Yeah, it accounts for a penny out of our paycheck, but he gets to hit you with it anytime he wants. It doesn't cost money. It costs votes. It costs airtime and column inches. You know why people don't like liberals? Because they lose. If liberals are so fucking smart, how come they lose so goddamn always? Hey, and with a straight face, you're going to tell students that America is so star-spangled awesome that we're the only ones in the world who have freedom? Canada has freedom. Japan has freedom. The UK, France, Italy, Germany, Spain, Australia, Belgium has freedom. So 207 sovereign states in the world, like 180 of them have freedom.
All right.
And yeah, you, sorority girl, just in case you accidentally wander into a voting booth one day, there's some things you should know. And one of them is, there is absolutely no evidence to support the statement that we're the greatest country in the world. We're 7th in literacy, 27th in math, 22nd in science, 49th in life expectancy, 178th in infant mortality, 3rd in median household income, number 4 in labor force, and number 4 in exports. We lead the world in only 3 categories: number of incarcerated citizens per capita, number of adults who believe angels are real, and defense spending, where we spend more than the next 26 countries combined, 25 of whom are allies. Now, none of this is the fault of a 20-year-old college student, but you nonetheless are, without a doubt, a member of the worst generation ever. So when you ask what makes us the greatest country in the world, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Yosemite?
I'm just saying, what do you follow up to that? I mean, what do you say?
Yosemite?
Yosemite, I mean, that should tell you, and you can check those statistics. I mean, that wasn't just something that they created for the show because, like I said, we've covered that here on this particular show twice. But,
So,
hey, you know, we have a nice looking flag. You know, Uncle Sam is a natty, dresser, and yeah.
Don't forget about the Jets.
Oh yeah, yes.
the man didn't. He didn't pull any other team out of his ass.
You know what? But see, no, that was perfect because he wanted to show just exactly how inept this country is. So he's going to pick one of the worst teams in the entire league, the stinking lowly Jets. Benny Hill.
But yeah, man. Like I said, I found that actually a cat I know on Facebook put that up. And
between this network, there's been several different things, but you know what?
You know, we just like saying it because we know you people aren't going to listen to it.
Exactly. You're not going to listen to it. It doesn't really matter. I mean, it's frustrating and sad, but it doesn't matter because, you're going to want to see, Mayweather beat up a sparring partner yet again, and say that he's the best in the world, or whatever sports or whatever reality TV shit or whatever is going to distract you from what the real issues are. Exactly how we need to improve as a nation, as a people, as everything. That's what we should basically collect ourselves and focus ourselves towards that goal, bettering ourselves and bettering our country, bettering our economy. But, that's a thing of the past.
I feel as we close the show, I feel I must say, this is a good point to say that, and this is true, I'm not bullshitting. I actually have considered running for some type of office, local office.
Shit.
And
you're going to say all of this kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Dead man walking, dead man talking.
Well, you know what? Maybe if I'm rich enough, maybe I'll change my mind. But right now, I'm broke, so what the fuck?
2 to the dome and 3 across the belly is what you got to get.
I don't think they kill councilmen and fucking shit like that. So,
hey, well, hey, Marty Markowitz stepped down, so maybe you can battle with a successor.
I'll be Brooklyn Borough president or some shit like that. Yeah. But because I mean, we say this shit on the air. The amount of people who listen and watch, they listen and watch. But in a small manner, it is just cheap talk unless you really try and do something. And I've refrained from doing a lot of shit because I know that no one's gonna fucking do anything. There is no real change, but. I don't know. I guess it is some small part of me that just likes telling you people that you're fucking stupid.
Don't you think even doing this show is like cathartic in a way? I mean,
no, yeah.
I actually feel a duty to actually come to the show now to try and, I mean, obviously, dissing that clown over there in the corner is actually fun, but, I actually, to try, even if, because our viewership is increasing,
right?
And I do feel like, I should be able to say something beyond, my immediate, friend circle.
Beyond AIDS scum?
Exactly.
Yeah, I had to get that one in the last 30 seconds.
The AIDS scum.
But yeah, so, you might see my name on a ballot somewhere soon, and just think back to the glory days.
Yeah, he'll be the dude in the bulletproof everything.
Yeah, well, you know what? If that's what it takes. You thought I was going to be killed for my book. Now you think I'm going to be killed for running for
Kevlar suit of armor with a cigar sticking out of it, right? Vote for me, right?
Anyway, yo all, thanks again for stopping by on the show. Once again, this is Insanity Check. You can check us out on our Facebook page, Insanity Check. You can tweet to us at Insanity Check 12. Please join us on our Google Circles at Insanity Check Radio. And, of course, keep everything coming on our YouTube channel, Insanity Check
Radio. There you go. There you go.
Thanks for stopping by. We'll be back next week.
Take care.
We try